everybody. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be starting a new series that I'm going to try to do every Wednesday where I'm going to go over my 2017 ranking list. I'm going to talk about where it stands and the new additions for each week and how that affects my ranking. Now, these rankings are fluid. I move them around. I change them around quite a bit. That's why I thought it would be fun to do this sort of on a weekly basis and kind of keep it going instead of just sort of once a year kind of a thing. I thought it would be fun to talk about and give you an idea of where things stand as far as my taste for the year. So this week we had, I went to see I had five new additions to my rankings that I saw. I saw Silent Voice, which was an anime film about a bully who kind of has to make recompense for his bad deeds that he's done. Really moving, really beautiful. Ghost Story is ambitious and different movie by David Lowery about grief and loss and moving on. Emoji Movie, we talked about that so much, but yeah, it's not a good movie, not a good film about emojis. Then we had Jeremiah Tower, The Last Magnificent documentary about a chef in the 80s. And then the last is a movie called Maudie that has a great performance from Sally Hawkins about an artist that sort of a folk country artist and her relationship with her husband, played by Ethan Hawke. So those are the five new additions to the ranking. Let me tell you where the ranking stood previous to this week. We had my number one movie, and this does not include Your Name, which some people include as a 2017 release. I am not, because it was my favorite of 2016. So my favorite previous to this week was, number one, was Step, the documentary that I love so much, Wonder Woman, The Big Sick at number 3, and then Personal Shopper at number 4, Get Out at number 5, War for the Planet of the Apes at number 6, Dunkirk at number 7, Bahubali 2, The Conclusion at number 8. My entire high school is sinking into the sea at number 9, and Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, at number 10. So that was my top 10 previous to the week. My bottom 10 previous to this week consisted of Table 19 at number 10. Then I had Before I Fall at number 9, Boss Baby at number 8, Lady Macbeth at number 7, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword at number 6, Gifted at number 5, The Circle at number 4, Transformers The Last Night at number 3, Spark, A Space Tale at number 2, and Surf's Up to Wave Mania at number 1. So there you go. That's where we started from. So let's talk about these 5 new additions. We had A Silent Voice, which was a beautiful anime, beautifully animated about, like I said, about this bully story that starts off very brutally. It's very uncomfortable. It's very hard to watch. But you really see these two lonely characters who come together in a weird way, but it felt so authentic. It felt so true. And it's a very, very moving story. And I don't like it quite as much as Your Name, but it's very good. And I actually have that coming into my ranking at number 4. So this is huge, very high up. It's just one that really, as a bully victim, as a child, it was one that really spoke to me. And I thought it was a very emotionally true and authentic film. So it's one that I definitely can't wait to get on Blu-ray and watch a lot and talk about it and think about it. My friend Christine is hopefully, I think, going to join me, and we're going to talk about this movie at some point. So I'll keep you posted on that. But it's definitely the best animated film of the year for sure, no question. All right, the next, if you don't include Your Name. The next movie, so A Ghost Story. A Ghost Story, I'm still kind of percolating on. I'm still sort of thinking about it. The more I talk to people who it really spoke to, the more it sort of makes me want to feel more favorably about it. It's definitely a very unusual film. I really liked the way it was shot. I really liked the choices David Lowery made. It's all about loss and being remembered, and I think it's a movie that actually speaks to those that aren't spiritual more than it speaks to the spiritual, because I think if you have faith, you kind of have an idea of kind of what's going to happen to you after this life. And so this sense of just like looking at your life the way that it does in this movie. It's just I just don't think it's as emotional an experience for people of faith as it would be for people that aren't of faith. Anyway, it's one that I could see it rising up and moving it around the more I think about it. But for now, I have a ghost story at number 28. And so it came out just below another movie we'll talk about, Maud, and above Power Rangers. So that's where it's at in my ranking. The next movie is the Emoji Movie. We've already talked about it a million times. It just doesn't work. It's so derivative, and it's not funny. And so, yeah, it's not a good film. I have it, though, actually at number 73. So that means that it is there are 3 worse movies, in my opinion, than Emoji Movie. I put the 3 worst movies are Transformers: The Last Night, Spark: A Space Tale, because I literally fell asleep for about 10 minutes. It was so boring. And then Surfs Up to Wave Mania. That movie is I think it's worse than Emoji Movie because it just ruins, I'm not going to say it ruins a previously great movie, but it felt like it kind of did. It's just such a disrespect to something that a lot of people, including myself, really loved. And it's not entertaining in any way. The animation sucks, and the story is very, very, very cluttered, and it really made me mad. It really made me mad. So, yeah, I think those 3 are worse than the Emoji Movie, even though the Emoji Movie, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh. Anyway, so it comes at number 73 on my list. The next one is Jeremiah Tower, The Last Magnificent. I thought that it was just a standard biopic, a documentary, whatever. It was fine. And so anyway, I ended up at number 44 on the list. It's right after The Hero, which I also thought was just standard and solid, but right above the DC Superhero Girls Intergalactic Games. So there you go, Jeremiah Tower. The next and last one is the movie Maudie. And this, I thought, had a really great performance from Sally Hawkins. I thought that Ethan Hawke's character wasn't all that well written. And it was just in like every scene he was in a different movie. And so that was my problem with the movie. But she's so great, and it's an overall inspirational story, good story. So I put Maudie at number 27. So it's right below United Kingdom, another biopic, true story, whatever, that is solid and entertaining. And just above a ghost story. So that's where that ends up lying in my ranking. So my new top 10 after this week is Step at number 1, Wonder Woman at number 2, The Big Sick at number 3, A Silent Voice at number 4, Personal Shopper at number 5, Get Out at number 6, The War for the Planet of the Apes at number 7, Dunkirk at number 8, Bahubali 2, The Conclusion at number 9, and My Entire High School is Sinking into the Sea at number 10. So there you go, my worst of the year list after this week. Since we did have a new addition, congratulations to Table 19. You are now not in the bottom 10 of my ranking, even though you weren't very good at all. That is Before I Fall at number 10, Boss Baby at number 9, Lady Macbeth at number 8, The King Arthur and the Legend of the Sword at number 7, Gifted at number 6, The Circle at number 5, Emoji Movie at number 4, Transformers: The Last Night at number 3, Spark: A Space Tale at number 2, and Surf's Up to Wave Mania at number 1. So there you go. That is my ranking, and that's my new addition to my ranking. So let me know what you think of this idea for a video. If you like it, don't like it, put it in the comments, and let me know what you think of this ranking, and either my bottom or my top. So thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you later. Bye.